Starly, the Starling Pokemon, is a 4th generation normal flying type first seen in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Starly has a medium slow levelling up rate, which is standard for early game birds. His anime debut was Diamond and Pearl Episode 1 following a maiden's voyage, and Starly is based on the white-cheeked Starling, though Staravia also shares features with an adult northern lapwing, and Staraptor resembles many hawks, falcons, and more specifically the harpy eagle. The feathers hanging over its face are also similar to the ones on along-crested eagles. Starly's name is derived from starling, Staravia's is a combination of starling and avian, which is another word for bird, and Staraptor is a combination of starling and raptor. Starly, being the early bird that it is, can be found in many early game routes in areas at the beginning of Diamond, Pearl and Platinum. Since it can be caught so early on, it makes for a great partner Pokemon alongside your starter. Not only that, but Staravia and Staraptor are very helpful in plenty of gyms throughout the game. Staravia's flying type attacks do a number on all of Gardenia's Pokemon, and while your Staravia probably won't be fully evolved when you make it to Maylene, it's worth your while to evolve it, as Staraptor gains the fantastic move Close Combat when it evolves at level 34. This means that you can hit her Lucaria for super effective damage on its Steel typing, as well as Byron's Steel types and most of Candace's Ice types. Staraptor is also useful against pretty much all of the Elite Four, especially Aaron, and to top it all off, it's even good against a couple of Cynthia's Pokemon as well. The Starly line are definitely fantastic Pokemon that are worth using throughout the whole game. The Starly line is also available to catch in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, White, X and Y, and Sun and Moon. You can catch Starly in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver by headbutting trees in Pure City. Obviously this is in the aftergame, so you probably have a full team already, so whether you want to use it is up to you. You won't be doing much against Red, so it's not a game changer by any means. You can catch Starly in Pokemon White after the main game as well in the White Forest, though again, by this point you probably have a full team already. In X and Y, Starly and Staravia are available on Route 11, with Starly being a horde encounter. This is the only currently available way to get a Starly with its hidden ability, though I'll talk more about that later. X and Y has one of the biggest regional Pokedexes in the series, meaning that Starly has plenty of competition. It's also not as useful against the gyms as it was in Sinnoh, making it even less desirable. Unlike in Sinnoh, you won't have a Staraptor by the time you face Karina's Lucarias for the first time. And while it's good for the regular gym, you still might not have one by the time you fight her Lucaria again, this time as a Mega. While the Starly line is still great, and you'll definitely see some use out of it throughout the game, it's nowhere near as useful as it was in Sinnoh. In Sun and Moon, you can catch a Staravia on Route 10 on Thursdays using the Island Scan feature. As was the case in X and Y, Staravia has a lot of competition that makes it shine less brightly, though that's not to say that the bulb has gone out. You can still see a lot of use out of it through the game, especially against Nanu, Guzma, and Elite Four Halu, but it's worthy to note that it can't even use Fly anymore to get you around the region, making it even less useful. Again, it's still a great Pokemon, but so are plenty of other heavy-hitting, fast Pokemon that you could have caught before Route 10. For what used to be an early game flying type, it sure did decide to arrive late in every game after Platinum. Starly starts off with the pretty rubbish ability of Keen Eye, which prevents accuracy dropping moves like Flash and Sand Attack from working. It also works as a poor man's Repel, whereas Starly is the first Pokemon in your party and the wild Pokemon in the area is at least 5 levels below Starly, there is a 50% chance that the wild encounter won't happen. The ability it gains upon evolving also does this, though it's definitely not the main reason why you would want it. Intimidate is probably one of the best abilities in the game. When Staravia or Staraptor are sent out, all of your opponent's currently active Pokemon have their attacks that load by one stage. This softens the blow of all physical moves, which definitely helps out as the Starly line does not have the best defences. Its hidden ability is Reckless, and while that is a great ability, it isn't nearly as useful as Intimidate is in the main game. You can only get a Starly with Reckless in X and Y, and the only two moves that benefit from it are Brave Bird, which Staraptor doesn't get until level 49, and Double Edge, which you can only get by breeding a Starly with a Togetic that doesn't even learn Double Edge until level 45. So, unless you're willing to put in a hell of a lot more effort to get one move, you won't have a Starly with Double Edge in the main game. While it's a great ability in competitive play, you'll see a lot more use out of Intimidate in the main game. Staraptor's stat total in Generation 4 and 5 is 475, though in Generation 6 and up its stat total is 485. Its attack and speed are great, its HP is average, and its defences are just okay. Of all the stats for Game Freak to improve to make Staraptor better, they gave it 10 points in its special defense, which is by no means a game changer. Why they did this, I don't really know. You also won't be seeing any special attacking variants unless your opponent is an absolute madman. These stats greatly aid what Staraptor wants to be, which is a fast physical attacker that hits hard with its powerful stab moves. While both its abilities are great, you want to have Reckless on for competitive play as it makes Staraptor's strongest moves hit that much harder. Unfortunately, Staraptor is weak to Rock, which means that it'll take a lot of damage from Stealth Rock every time you switch it in. This makes Staraptor that much frailer, which together with its recall moves makes Staraptor last as long as a box of popcorn does before a movie starts. You'll definitely want your Staraptor to hold a choice scarf to make sure it goes first, which also means that if your opponent switches into something that resists your move of choice, they'll be switching your Staraptor out a lot, which only makes its HP go down even faster if rocks are on the field. It's because of its short lifespan, weakness to rocks, and reliance on choice scarf that Staraptor is currently in the borderline tier, just shy of being an OU despite its many strengths. If Staraptor was a little bit faster, so we didn't have to rely on choice scarf, it would probably be an OU. Unfortunately, there are too many Pokemon running around in OU that are still faster, like Swift Swim Kingdra in the rain, and any Pokemon with a choice scarf of its own with a speed higher than 100, like Garchomp, Kartana and Keldeo, which will all most likely one-shot Staraptor. Landorus T also counters it, which is never a good thing if you want to be an OU. To summarise, while Staraptor is still a great Pokemon, its competition encounters have become more and more prevalent and sometimes straight up better. It'll still do what it's always done, and it's good at what it does do. If it were a bit faster, it would probably be an OU, but because it isn't, it isn't. Staraptor is good on any in-game team, but if you want a good flying type that's a bit different, you could try Crobat, Honchkrow or Togekiss in Gen 4, Talonflame, Charizard or Salamence in Gen 6, and Drifblim, Skarmory or Minior in Gen 7. Thanks for watching the second installment in this series of videos. This channel is primarily where I upload my Twitch streams and highlights, but I plan on making a lot more of these types of videos in the near future. If you're interested in either type of video, subscribe to the channel in order to see the videos as soon as they come out. Thanks again.